Hi, good evening, good afternoon, good morning. Welcome to ASMR Movie Recaps. We bring you full size entertainment in a shorter time so you can spend more time with your loved ones. We hope you are doing okay today and also for the rest of the week. Spoilers ahead. Please stay safe, stay healthy, and stay positive. While watching the recap, do subscribe and hit the notification button so you'll get notified to enjoy our next movie recap. Thanks a million for your support. Let's begin. The movie starts with a scene by the beach. The movie does not provide any information regarding the location of the beach nor its name. A group of teenagers are seen having a night party at the beach. There are around 15 to 20 teenagers at the party. During the party, one guy makes up a rule. The rule states that nobody is
Everybody,
allowed to touch
to
their
put your
mobile phones
phones in the bag.
and that they will need to collect them so they can be put away in a car trunk. Not so long after that, two guys came along bringing a huge ball-like thing covered with mucus. They said that it was found by the shallow water. The party continues, but little did they know that the strange thing will bring them huge consequences. In the morning, a girl named Kylie got up. Not so long after, a guy named Mitchell also got up. Kylie and Mitch, who were sleeping by the beach patrol station, saw that their friends were sleeping in the car. Kylie saw her boyfriend, Jonah, sleeping next to her friend, Chanda, and in the back seat of the car, a guy named Vance and his girlfriend Ronnie are also awake, while another girl named Marcia was by the beach chair. Just then, Kylie saw a seagull looking for food by the beach. Suddenly, the bird got sucked in by the sand. Marcia, who is not fully awake yet, tries to get down from the chair. Kylie then warned Marcia not to touch the sand, but it was too late. Marcia's foot touched the sand and it got sucked in, even though she tried so hard to get out of it.
Yo, something's wrong.
Panic and confusion ensued, because nobody can make sense from what's happening. But Vance tries to help Marcia. He jumps from the car into the sand and instantly got his foot stuck, falling hard onto the sand. He tried to help Marcia in the beginning, but is now the one who needs help. His face starts to get eaten away by something. Blood runs down his face, and not long after, Vance and Marcia get sucked into the sand. This shocks everyone, and they were stuck with disbelief. Though still shocked by the events that just transpired, they think it's best that they call the police and ask for help. But they then realize that their phones are locked away inside the car trunk, and they all blame Mitch for making up such a stupid rule at the party last night. And to make things worse, by being on the beach that they were on, they were actually trespassing, and for good reason, as the water seems to be polluted. Jonah, who was inside the car, tries to turn it on, but it won't. He just remembered that there was a problem with the battery, but he forgot to replace it with a new one before going to the party last night. So no matter how much he tried, the car just wouldn't start. Meanwhile, Kylie was very intrigued by the thing that ate her friends. She holds her hand just a few inches away above the sand, and there they were, the thing that took their friends away. They were weird-looking creatures, shaped like thin worms, almost as thin as a strand of hair. Meanwhile, one of the other guys, Gilbert, just wakes up and was trapped in a trash can. It looks like his friends pulled a prank on him. He tried to get out of the trash can and shook it constantly. Immediately, his friends screamed and said not to move. Gilbert finally heeded their warning after being told that something was in the sand. He is also in quite a shock after knowing that two of his friends died because of the sand on the beach. Gilbert couldn't help but stay in the trash can. As time passes, all they can do is wait in their respective places in the hopes that someone will come and find them eventually. Ronnie, who lost her boyfriend, also wrote a letter to his mother just in case she doesn't make it alive. Without food or drink, they could only wait for so long. Then they realized that the people who attended last night's party were gone and drowned in the beach sand. In other words, only the six of them remained. Not far away, Kylie sees that the big ball thing that was found last night has been torn apart. Ronnie also realizes that the big ball looks like a hatched egg. Therefore, the strange creature under the sand most likely came from that egg. If we understand that the water on this beach is polluted, the pollution might have the ability to create new and unexpected creatures. Jonah hatches a plan to take the things that are in Marsha's bag. Coincidentally, behind the car, there are two surfboards that Jonah can use to walk without having to touch the sand, so he uses the surfboards to walk. When he approached the chair, the surfboard that Jonah is using shifts and moves away from the chair. Jonah kept trying to avoid the sand, but the parasites came out of the beach sand and touches his belly. Luckily, he was still able to survive and jump onto the chair. But suddenly, Jonah felt a painful sensation on his stomach. It turns out that he was bitten by the parasites. Jonah looked like someone who was poisoned, and his face turned pale. He said that his stomach felt like it had been stung by thousands of jellyfish. While holding back the pain, he opened the contents of Marsha's bag and found some canned drinks. Finally, one at a time, he shares the drinking water. When Jonah threw a drink to Mitch, he felt sharp pain. It made his throw fall a little short. Mitch leaned forward, pushing the wood on the edge of the stairs. It came loose. The wound on Jonah's stomach seemed to be getting worse and festering. He could only lie on the chair. All of them were even more confused about how they could survive in this place. Like it or not, they had to take their phones that were in the trunk of Ronnie's car. They planned to open the trunk while stepping on the bumper of the car. When they were opening the trunk, a patrol car started honking. This made Ronnie slip and got her fingers stuck in the trunk of the car. It turns out to be the beach patrol. He asked what exactly Kylie and her friends were doing on the beach and informed them that the beach was closed. Kylie told him that there was something under the sand. The guard, who didn't believe what she said, immediately got out of the car. Strangely enough, the parasites in the sand couldn't hurt him. They also wondered how the man could walk without being touched at all. Because nothing strange happens, the guard doesn't believe their words. Mitch mentioned that the man wasn't hurt by the parasite because of the leather shoes he was wearing at the time. The guard told Kylie and Mitch to come down to him, but they both clearly didn't want to obey the Coast Guard's order. The angry guard threatened them using pepper spray, but this made the man's car key fall on the sand. As he tried to pick up the keys, his hand got stuck in the sand. Kylie suggests you use this pepper spray. He listens and sprayed the parasites that emerged from the sand. Unfortunately, half of the lifeguard's hand got cut off and was bleeding profusely. Not long after that, he fell and was sucked into the sand. Looking at how the leather protected the guard at first, Mitch thought that if he protects his feet with a towel, he would be safe and he could get out of that beach. When Chanda threw him a towel, Mitch fell due to the loose edge of the wooden fence. He lays on the sand as he is gnawed on by the parasites. His feet and hands entered the sand slowly. The only thing his friends could do was watch, without knowing what to do. In a panic, Kylie comes up with an idea. She passed the side of the wooden ladder to Chanda, who was in the car, then jumped from the lifeguard's post to the car. They both helped Ronnie get her fingers free. Luckily, they managed to get Ronnie's fingers out and immediately wrapped them with a thick towel. Meanwhile, without realizing it, Gilbert starts to bleed, and the blood was dripping down on the side of the barrel. Kylie and Chanda put the wood down so they can go across to the Jonah's chair. Slowly, Chanda steps across while maintaining her balance. Luckily, she managed to get to the chair. Then came Kylie's turn. She also managed to get to the chair. When it was Ronnie's turn, she slipped and fell onto the sand. In an instant, the parasites sucked Ronnie into the sand. Back to Gilbert. The parasites that sensed his blood were trying to get into the trash can. Chanda has an idea to go to the patrol car. He also applied the method that Mitch came up with, using the towels. After she wrapped her legs, she quickly ran into the car and managed to get on it. But suddenly, Gilbert slowly bleeds from his mouth. It turned out that the parasites made a hole and entered the can through the bottom. Gilbert was sucked into the sand and disappeared. Even more unfortunately, Chanda slipped and hit her head, knocking her unconscious. Kylie and Jonah had to wait until Chanda regained consciousness. When night fell, Chanda, who fainted, finally woke up. She manages to find a lifeboat on top of the patrol car. Without wasting too much time, Chanda immediately threw the lifeboat. Inflated, she got down on the lifeboat to pick up Kylie and Jonah. One by one, they used the lifeboat to get into the car. Unfortunately, Jonah's wound was only getting worse. Sadly, he died in the car. This made Kylie and Chanda despair, as none of them knew how to drive a car. The next day, a man peeks out from behind the windshield and wakes them both up. They then notice that the guy can stand on the sand safely without being disturbed by the parasites. Finally, Kylie and Chanda step slowly onto the sand. The man found Jonah with a severe wound on his stomach. At the end of the movie, a collection of parasites are seen swimming and heading toward another beach. That's a wrap. We hope you enjoyed the movie recap. Do subscribe for more videos like this and also hit the like button. It might feel simple, but it will really help us out a lot. Thanks for your support. Also, leave a comment. What do you think about the story, and which scene catch your attention the most? See you in the next one. Take care.